Welcome back to Building on a Budget Models for the third part of our Lancia Delta build by Italeri. With the decals set and the clear coat dry, I now went on to doing the rubber trim that surrounds the window panes. As the driver's side door was separate, I painted this first in the semi-gloss black to ensure I was happy with the finish. The other bits didn't really need masking, except in some places, such as where it was next to the roof. I used Revell semi-gloss black as I felt that this kind of material has a slight shine to it. Where I made mistakes, I used a little bit of Vallejo airbrush cleaner on a cotton bud, and that soaked away the paint really easily. It's also important to paint the insides of the window frames, as they will also be visible. A bit of Tamiya masking tape really came in useful here. Remember to paint away from the tape so as to limit bleeding. Pretty happy with that. I also painted the headlight surrounds. I had already painted the insides of them silver. The front and rear bumper were done in matte black. Make sure that the clear coat has properly sealed in the decals before covering them with masking tape, as you can easily peel things off accidentally. Parts to be done in matte should be done after the gloss clear coat has dried. The grille of the Delta is in chrome with a red trim around the outside, a little like the Golf GTI. I used this aluminium plumber's tape with the grille, but I decided not to go for the red effect as I didn't think I would be able to get it looking neat enough. I pressed it down onto the edges using my finger and a cotton bud. And once I was happy that it was in the right places, I used a very sharp new craft knife to cut out the places, and then tweezers to remove those sections. I was pretty happy with how this turned out. Let me know what you think in the comments. It slot in very easily and went in without the need for any glue. The door handles are completely separate parts, which make it easy to put them in without the need for any messy masking. Once the black bumpers had dried, I applied the white decals to go over the top. The rear bumper had a couple of Michelin logos. They didn't settle down straight away, but a little bit of extra microsol and the paintbrush made them correct. The decals apply to the aluminium foil with no problem, so the little Lancia badge went into the centre of the grille. There were a few more decals that needed to go onto the matte parts, including these Lancia Delta logos on the bottom of the car. There's a very small HF logo that goes onto the grille. The tyres are all the same, but remember to remove the flash from the rubber before applying them. I always put the tyres onto the wheels before decaling them, because otherwise the decals can crinkle and fall off. A little bit of micro set helped them adhere to the vinyl. The door cards that go on the back add quite a nice little bit of realism. Both front seats have a small pocket on the door, which I've done in anthracite, and all four doors have a window winder handle, which I did in silver metallic. The door clips on quite nicely, but as you'll see in the next video, it doesn't fit quite so well once the car has all been put together. I made a mistake here. The windows should go in before the door cards, as the clear parts will not fit over the door cards. So I had to pull them out after this. Make sure you don't make the same mistake as I did. I used a little bit of PVA glue to fit the clear part in and left it for a few hours. The rear view mirror is in semi-gloss black and silver. I sanded the top of it to flatten it out, which really helped glue it to the roof, and put it at a slight angle to make it look like it was being used by the driver. The fuel pipe that goes in the back of the car I did in silver, but it doesn't fit in like that. Instead, you should attach it to the fuel cap itself and then attach the pipe once the car body has been put together, feeding it through, unlike what I'm doing here. Found the car wouldn't go together with the fuel pipe in, so leave it till last instead. I usually attach the window decals to the inside of the glass instead of the outside, as that will protect them from finger touches and scratches. You cannot seal them with clear coat, so putting them inside just gives them that little bit more longevity. Next, it was time to put the car together. I started by going over the back, as the rear bumper was still fitted. The front bumper goes on without any glue, so leave it off. This is quite a fiddly process, and you may need to use something to pull the sides apart. I've cut it much shorter here because it's boring. The front bumper slides into place with no problem. I decided not to glue it, as this would stop me from opening the car again if I found any errors. The door doesn't fit closed very well, so I normally try to display it with the door slightly open. If you weren't bothered about the door being open, I would simply glue it shut. And now we're just one video away from finishing, and it's nice to see that I've got a little bit of help to get the wheels, aerials, windscreen wipers and those sort of parts on. Thanks for watching. Please comment, like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.